I'm making my first leather purse. I'm on a 1-year no-buy right now, which means I can't buy myself new purses, but I can make them. And I got kind of into purse making this summer. This is the first one that I made, but I never made one out of leather, so we're gonna do that. I've already made myself a prototype. Here it is. This style is called an origami bag because it's folded to create this shape. So let's go buy some leather and make this purse. I went to Mood Los Angeles to find my leather, and they have a huge selection of colors. So I just made a crazy decision at the fabric store. Originally I was looking for red leather because that is such a classic fall bag color, but I couldn't find the exact shade of red that I liked. I looked through all of them and just like none of them were doing it for me. But I saw this one color of suede that was like screaming my name. It's this. This is like a cobalt blue suede, and it is so gorgeous, really unique. I don't think I've ever seen a bag in this color, so I'm really excited to make a purse out of this. This was my top choice for red, and then this is like the blue that I fell in love with, and I'm really glad that I ended up choosing the blue. That red color is just not what I was looking for. I just finished my lining, and in my opinion you should always do the lining first, because if you make a mistake in that part, it doesn't really matter, you won't see it. So here's my lining. I love the shape of this, and I'm really glad I went with the same color as the outer shell. It just looks a bit better. Originally I was going to do black. So this is mine. I added magnetic closures, so like, can you hear that? It closes with magnets. And I also added the biggest hidden pocket that any purse has ever had. Like, look how big that is. You could put anything in here. Like, you could put a cell phone, a wallet, anything. Like, normally hidden pockets are so tiny. Like, oh, you can put as like, what, like tampons? Which I guess is why they put them there. But look, I could put anything in mine. And that's like one of the advantages to making your own stuff, is you can just customize it however you want and have like ginormous pockets. I know whenever I make a skirt, I always put a pocket in my skirts because it feels so necessary. So anyway, that's my huge pocket. That's probably going to be the hardest part, is adding that pocket, and the rest should be pretty straightforward. So now let's make the outside of the bag. The disadvantage to using suede versus leather is leather keeps its shape, whereas suede kind of acts more like a fabric. So what I'm going to do is attach this suede to this interfacing that I've cut out. It's actually 2 layers of interfacing I sewed on top of each other, so that when I'm finished with the purse, it stays in the purse shape. So let's do that. I've actually never been so stressed out cutting something in my whole life. I did not expect suede to stretch while you cut it. This is me figuring out that I cannot sew through suede plus 2 layers of interfacing on my regular sewing machine. I actually broke 2 sewing needles doing this before I just like gave up and sewed the rest of it by hand. This is how you create the origami fold, and then you just sew this diagonal line. If that doesn't make sense, it's okay. I'm gonna film a tutorial on how to do this for beginners using like easier fabric, because suede is very difficult. Sewing this outer shell by hand was so tedious and time consuming. If you look closely, you can see I'm actually using pliers to pull the needle all the way through, because this suede plus interfacing was so thick. I kind of wish I timed myself to see how many hours I spent trying to complete this bag, but yep, that's how I finished it. I kind of wish I had an industrial sewing machine. Maybe I'll get one for future projects, because I actually, at the end of the day, did enjoy making this purse and kind of want to make more. I finished stitching it together and it looks so good. I love the color and the shape. I'm so excited to finish this. I just want a little bit more structure on the bottom of the bag. So what I'm gonna do is take this random piece of cardboard and cut like a rectangle out, and then fabric glue it to the bottom of the bag, and then it should be more like stable. And after that, I just have to do lining and a strap. So I'm really excited to finish this. I have a funny story about the fabric glue that I'm using in this video, which is that I purchased this in college at a garage sale for 25 cents. And the people who sold it to me made it seem like they had had this for a very long time and were shocked that it still worked. And this fabric glue works extremely well, like to this day. And it has the year 1999 printed onto the bottle. So is this 25-year-old fabric glue? Because that would be crazy that a fabric glue could still work for 25 years. And this kind of relates to the sentiment that a lot of people feel, that products made nowadays are not made to last. They're made to last for like a year max, so we have to keep repurchasing the products and making more profits for the companies. Like people's, frustration with iPhones, that iPhones are only nice for a year and then they get really slow. Does anyone else agree that this is actually a phenomenon for all products? They're all starting to work less well? Or am I just overlooking this whole fabric glue thing? Let me know what your thoughts are. I'd be really interested to know. This is what the bag looks like with the cardboard attached to the bottom. Now I'm going to attach the lining. I have it pinned inside right sides together, and I just need to hand stitch around here, and then I can add the strap. As you can see, my seam allowance is really chunky, so how I'm fixing this is I'm using more of my beloved fabric glue and holding it in place with some clips until it dries, and this method worked out really well for me. So I finished gluing down the seam allowance, and now I'm going to turn it inside out for the big reveal. I'm really excited. I also glued like 4 more layers of cardboard onto the bottom because it was cracking. Honestly, this is not dry yet, but I don't have the patience, so. Okay. So I flipped it inside out and it's looking really good. I just need to iron down the seam allowance and then stitch this part closed. And then I add a strap and it's done. Hopefully I can wear this tonight. I'm really excited. I used starch spray to make mine extra crisp, and this is honestly the secret to making anything look professionally finished, is ironing all of your seams, even though I kind of hate ironing them, but you gotta do it. At this point, you probably think I'm crazy for hand sewing this whole bag, which I am, but not for this. This is actually not unusual in the luxury handbag sector. Take Hermes, for example. What makes Hermes really special is that their bags are hand sewn by leather artisans. Each purse is made by one artisan who spends between 15 and 18 hours hand stitching each bag using something called a saddle stitch. And so that actually is what makes Hermes bags more special, more so than other luxury handbags, because those are made a bit more industrialized. And this made me respect them a lot more. And what's funny is when I finished this project, I calculated how much time it took me to do this. And it did take me around 18 hours to complete, which made me feel really bad. Like, I can't believe I spent 18 hours on this, until I googled that and found out that that's how long it takes to make a Birkin. And I'm like, actually, I'm not doing so bad. That was like a little confidence boost for me. And I would like to apologize for the crazy man pacing behind me. That is my husband on a phone call. Get out of my shot, dude. Now it is time for the very exciting final step, which is making the handle of my bag. So I'm cutting out a little rectangle of suede that I'm going to attach to some interfacing, and dun dun dun, I have to hand stitch this all together, but at least I'm almost done. Okay, so it's Saturday night and I really want to wear my purse to my friend's party tonight. I'm on the handle, I'm trying to hand sew it closed, and I'm really hustling because I want to finish this. I feel like I'm not that far from finishing, but I should probably be leaving the house right now to get there on time, so I don't know what I'm doing. You have to be really dedicated to a project to hand sew it like this, because this is really time consuming. Is this dedicated or is this crazy? You decide. Like, it is Saturday night. Leave the house. I was 2 hours late to my friend's party, and I didn't bring the bag because I didn't finish, and it was raining, so I could not have brought my suede purse in the rain even if I finished. So I don't even know what I was thinking in this moment. But also, please appreciate that this is the first clip that I included that is in real time. The rest have been time-lapse. Look at how slow this actually is. Like, this is why it took me 18 hours to finish the bag. So, what do you think? Is this dedicated or is this crazy? We want this to stay nice because suede is a delicate fabric, so I'm using this, like, fabric treatment that's supposed to be, like, stain repellent, quote-unquote. I think you're supposed to reapply this every 6 months. Just, if you use this, do like a little test piece on a swatch of fabric, just because it might create like weird splotches on your project depending on what the fabric is, but for me, this has always worked perfectly. I finally finished the bag. This is mostly hand sewn, and I am so happy with how it turned out. It's so me, I love the color, and it was totally worth hand sewing this. I mean, it took forever, but it was worth it. It wasn't ready in time for my friend's party, but that's okay because it was raining, so I shouldn't have worn it anyway. But yeah, I love it. I can't wait to wear this. Thank you so much for watching. I'm really happy with how my purse turned out. Let me know what you think of the finished result, and my next video is going to be a bunch of homemade gift ideas. So if you're interested in making gifts for your loved ones for the upcoming holidays, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss that video because I have lots of great ideas. And have a great day.